Happy Flossmas, everyone! Happy Flossmas Day 11. Welcome back. My name is Andrew, this is my dog Winston, and this is the Runner Stitcher, my channel where I talk about cross stitch and a little bit about running as well. And today we're back to share more of the festivities of the holiday season with you. So I've got a lot of Christmas stitching that I worked on yesterday to share, and yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I have really had a lot of fun doing these videos with you this season, and I'm just so grateful that you're here spending a little time with us, so thank you. Today is another cold but nice day in New York, and I did get out for a run this morning, which felt good again. It's always good to get the day started in that way, and now I'm warming up with my coffee, as we always do, so that is great as well. Yesterday I got a lot of stitching done, actually, so I'm really happy with the progress that I was able to make, and I'll share that here in a little bit. Tonight, I'm actually going with a friend to see the Wicked movie again. You know how much I love Wicked, the movie, and this will be my third time seeing part 2, but I'm super excited to see it with this friend, and it should be a good time this evening. So there might not be as much stitching tomorrow, but we'll just see. We'll take it as it comes. Okay, so let's get into our first advent calendar that we do. This is the Trader Joe's Chocolate Advent, and square number 11 is right here. So that's what we'll be opening today, and let's see what our chocolate looks like today. Oh, I think I know already just from the back. Today's chocolate is this cute stocking. How adorable is that? I really like that one. It's been so much fun to hear how some of you are also having chocolates with me or having some sort of advent. That really just makes me happy that we're all sort of doing this together and I'm not eating all this chocolate by myself. Okay, and the next advent calendar we've got is for Winston. This is his freeze-dried chicken treat. And today we're opening this little cutie. So I can guarantee you what's in here because they have all been the same. But let's see. Ooh, I think we got some more for you, Winston. That's exciting. So he still had a few left over from yesterday. Clearly he's excited. He knows what this part of the video is now. And I'm gonna go ahead and give him some treats. Just wait, bud. Okay. Can you shake a paw? High five? Shake a paw? Okay, good job. Can I get a kiss? Oh, thank you. Okay. He'll do anything and everything to get these treats. Even before I say to do something, he's like ready to go. So he looks forward to those for sure. He's definitely going to be spoiled by the end of this. Next up, we've got the music section. So there's a link to the Spotify playlist below. Today's song is from Ingrid Michaelson and Sarah Bareilles. They are two singer-songwriters, and they did a version of this Christmas song called Winter Song. And that version is my favorite of this song. And their two voices blend so well together. It's just a beautiful song, a beautiful ballad, and I really like their version of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the Spotify playlist. Feel free to check it out if you wanna get in the holiday spirit with some Christmas music that I enjoy. And now let's get into the stitching. So the first thing I worked on was the Tiny Modernist Advent Calendar banner. Advent banner calendar. I forget which way it is, but here is where I got to today. So there were no issues yesterday, which was really good, but we were working in a different section, so I'm glad there were no issues. The part that I worked on yesterday were these beautiful little baubles right here. And everything lined up from the top to the bottom, and it was all good. There's some back stitching in there to get those completed, but I thought they were a really nice addition, kind of a little different of a motif to add in there. And yeah, it's still looking really great. Thank you so much for all of the comments yesterday about being off a stitch somewhere. I don't think it's noticeable yet, and we'll keep going with the motifs and see how it works out, but I'm hoping everything will be okay. So yeah, that was yesterday's stitching. It wasn't near as much, you can tell, like look at the amount of stitching in these compared to this huge gingerbread house. So definitely was more manageable yesterday, and I'm really glad we got some of these big stitching things out of the way at the very beginning, because yeah, as Christmas gets closer, there might be less and less time to stitch, and that's fine, that's good, but I do want to keep going with this. So we'll see. Come back tomorrow and we will see where the new motif is and if there's any issues with placing it there. So that is the Tiny Modernist Advent Calendar banner. The next piece I worked on was Jane's Joy, and this is from Carolyn Manning. Here's what this is going to look like. And I've been working outside along the border. And I mentioned to you in the video yesterday that I might try one strand using one strand for the squares in the center of the piece. And basically everyone said you should try that. If you don't like it, you can take it out, but everyone said try it at least. So I'm happy to show that I have now gotten a square completed. And here is where I'm at. So this square that I did yesterday is the first one. It's this beautiful candle in the center with the holly sort of leaves around it. There's a French knot in there. There's some back stitching. And I did all of that with one strand. And honestly, I think I'm happy with it. I like how it looks. It's definitely a different coverage than the outside border, than the trees, which I really don't mind. I think the trees look fine as a little bit thicker, and I can keep going with that all the way around. But it was so much more enjoyable to stitch with one strand. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that looks okay. Let me know what you think of the first block with that candle. But I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna keep going with just one strand for the blocks in the center. So, and that's even white stitching right there, and the coverage is still pretty good. So once you get the colors in there, obviously that will pop a little bit more. But if the white is looking okay with one strand, I think it's gonna be all right. So I'm really happy that we're now into the squares. That was a lot of fun. Each square is 11 by 11. So it's about 121 stitches, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 122, something like that. And so it's slightly more than one of the trees on the outside, and just over 100 stitches. But yeah, it was a lot of fun and just much more enjoyable with the one strand. So let me know what you think. But that is the progress on this piece. All right, and next up I worked on the gingerbread house. Now yesterday I showed you the finished piece with all of the stitching completed, and I told you we would do a side-by-side of the back stitching. And that is true, I did complete all the back stitching. It took me about 2.5 hours. Can you believe it? All that back stitching in this tiny piece took 2.5 hours. That may have taken just slightly longer than what it took to actually stitch the piece. But here is, and I did FFO it, kind of. I'm no Helen D, but here is my little FFO. It's not perfect, but I think it's rather cute. So I'm gonna put this up here as close as I can, and I'm gonna do a side-by-side shot of this piece, and over here, I'll put a picture of without backstitching, so you can kind of see the side-by-side shot. But this is my little ornament finish, and just used felt on the front and on the back, and this rope actually came with the kit, so I used that as the tag, or I mean as the holder. And yeah, this is my finish of the cute little gingerbread house. I really am happy with how it turned out. I think the back stitching looks great on it, and I think it was a fun little stitch. So with this piece, I actually would like to do a giveaway. Now, I know that all of you have been watching each day, and that has meant so much to me. And so I thought it would be fun to do this giveaway for those of you watching and keeping up with this every single day. If you're interested in winning this stitched piece from me, this little ornament with my stitching on it, I'm gonna do a giveaway, and I will send this wherever it needs to go. So anyone can enter. This is only gonna be open for one day, so I am gonna call the winner tomorrow on my Flossmas video. So if you're watching this late, I'm sorry, it's already over. But if you're watching this within the next day, you are able to enter, and I will be drawing the winner tomorrow. So all those standard giveaway rules apply. Please be 18 years of age or older, because I'll need your address to mail this to. Please don't use the words like giveaway or win or anything like that to attract the trolls. I want this to go to someone who will really enjoy the stitching and having it on their tree. And for the giveaway keyword, let's use the word lamp, since we have this little lamp post here. So L-A-M-P, use the word lamp in a sentence, and you will be entered to win this little Christmas ornament. I thought that would be a fun way to give back to all of you for watching these videos and joining me in this holiday season. It's been really fun for me, and again, this is not a perfect finish. There's a lot of flaws in this finish, but I'm still happy with it. I think it's cute, and I hope one of you will enjoy having it on your tree and sort of remembering these Flossmas videos. So use the word lamp if you're interested in that. And the final piece I worked on was this one, Christmas Thoughts Sampler from the Drawn Thread. And I'm still up here in this top section right up here. This has been really fun to stitch, and I have really been enjoying it. So I hope you're enjoying seeing it as well. And I actually had a lot of time last night to work on it. So I finished the next snowman motif. How cute is he? I just think he is adorable. I did his little back stitching for his stick hands and back stitching in there for his nose that's there. And I just think he turned out so cute. All of these colors I'm really loving, and it's just really pretty. And I really enjoy stitching on it too. The fabric is great. One strand using the dinky dyes has been amazing, and it's just been good. So the one thing I did want to clarify with this is the width of the piece, right? So it's not that wide. It is long, but it's not that wide. And you can see here that it's not centered on this fabric. And I should have definitely moved it over like another inch so that it would have been more centered. The reason for that is on this side of the fabric, if I were to unroll this, you would see that the fabric cut is actually, it comes in this direction. It's not a straight line. Now I knew that when I started this piece, and I thought I had positioned it correctly, but really I should have positioned it off of this side that had the straight edge. I didn't. I did measure it all the way down through, and there will be enough room. Like it is going to get to be a very tight margin, but there's going to be a margin. Like I'll have enough for the stitching, but it's probably going to get to about a ½ an inch away from this. So framing might be a little difficult. Hanging it might be a little difficult. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to work out, but I can't restart this and do all that stitching again. That would just be too much, I think. So, and like I said, it will fit. It'll just get tight as we get closer, which I'm a little bummed about because there's definitely room on this side of the fabric, and this is the side with the straight edge. So if I had just moved it over a little bit further and not been so conservative with my border here, then I would have been okay. But we'll see. We'll see what I can do with it in the end once it's all stitched. But I'm really enjoying it and having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, this is the part so far. Now you'll see last night on the Santa or the snowman's hat, there's this little pom-pom, which is a specialty stitch. And I'm not exactly sure if I did that specialty stitch correct or not. So I couldn't tell on the chart whether or not I was supposed to go in the middle hole each time and make like short little legs all the way around like I did, or if I was supposed to go from one side all the way to the other and make one big long stitch there. After I did it, I think actually that I was supposed to make one long stitch. So I made this more like an eyelet, and I think it was supposed to be like more of an octagon shape. So I think I may have done the wrong specialty stitch, but I think it still looks super cute. I'm really happy with how the hat turned out and looks. There are also buttons that will go in here on the snowman that will add to him right here in his belly. So that will be fun, but of course I'm holding off on all those until the very end. So yeah, as we go further, there'll be even more specialty stitches, more places for buttons, and even some beads in there. So stay tuned as I keep working on this for a few more days. And that's all the stitching I've got for you from yesterday. So like I said, it was a pretty good stitch day. I got a lot accomplished, and I was grateful that it was a smaller day on the Tiny Modernist piece so I could work on other ones, but I hope you enjoyed that. The next thing we have to get into is The Fir Tree by Hans Christian Andersen. As you know, I've been reading the story throughout this Flossmas period, and today is actually the last day of the story. We're here at the very end of it. So I'm gonna read the last part now, and then we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. So I hope you enjoy this. In the same courtyard, two of the merry children were playing who had danced round the tree at Christmas and had been so happy. The youngest saw the gilded star and ran and pulled it off the tree. "Look what is sticking to the ugly old fir tree," said the child, treading on the branches till they cracked under his boots. And the tree saw all the fresh, bright flowers in the garden, and then looked at itself, and wished it had remained in the dark corner of the garret. It thought of its fresh youth in the forest, of the merry Christmas evening, and of the little mice who had listened to the story of Humpty Dumpty. "Past, past," said the old tree. "Oh, had I but enjoyed myself while I could have done so, but now it is too late." Then a lad came and chopped the tree into small pieces, till a large bundle lay in a heap on the ground. The pieces were placed in a fire under the copper, and they quickly blazed up brightly, while the tree sighed so deeply that each sigh was like a pistol shot. Then the children, who were at play, came and seated themselves in front of the fire and looked at it and cried, "Pop, pop!" But at each pop, which was a deep sigh, the tree was thinking of a summer day in the forest, and of Christmas evening, and of the Humpty Dumpty, the only story it had ever heard or knew how to relate, till at last it was consumed. The boys still played in the garden, and the youngest wore the golden star on his breast, with which the tree had been adorned during the happiest evening of its existence. Now all was past. The tree's life was past, and the story also. For all stories must come to an end at last. Now, I know that's a bit of a melancholy story and kind of a sad ending for the fir tree to get to the end of its life and kind of be looking back on all of its existence. But the reason I wanted to share this with you is I think it's really important that the lessons that we can learn from this little fir tree. You know, there are moments in our lives where we need to be present in the current moment and find the happiness in that moment. The fir tree continually was looking for happiness in the future, when something changed, or when he got older, or when something would happen for him. And it led that happiness to be something that he never attained because he was always looking forward to it. And I think being able to be present in the current moment and being happy with where you currently are is so important. And that's something I've been learning this whole year, especially the last couple of months. And now as I've lost my job, you know, there's a lot of times where I could say, well, I'll be happy once I find the next job, or I'll be happy once this. But I also don't want to waste these months of my life when I'm in this transition, and to be able to be present in this moment and find joy and find happiness right where I'm at is huge, so that I don't have to look back and wish that I was in a past situation because that's where the happiness was. And so for me, this is the first year I've ever read this story before, and reading it just really spoke to me. And I thought, I know it's a sad sort of melancholy story, but I thought that the message was so important to share with you this Christmas season. And I hope what we can take from it is to find the happiness in the moments that we have right now. Not necessarily looking forward to being happy when we reach this point, or when we retire, or when we get the promotion, or when we, not putting happiness off into the future, but really finding those little moments of joy and happiness in our surroundings that we're currently in the present. Because really that's all we do have is the present moment, and we can't change the past. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, and today is what we have, what we're living in. So I hope that has spoken to you the way it has to me. And yeah, I hope you're able to get a little bit of joy out of this story, and understanding that we can be grateful that we can learn this lesson now and not at the end of our lives. So I hope that this story encouraged you, and I hope it didn't come across too preachy. These are all things that I'm learning myself as well, especially through the last couple of months. And like I said, the story was just something that really spoke to me, and I wanted to share with you. So thank you for listening to that story as I've read it over the past 11 days. I do have one other story that I will be jumping into in a couple of days. So we're going to take a few days off from reading a story at the end, and then we'll pick up in a few days the next story, and I'll read that, and I think it will go very close to, if not to, the final day of Flossmas. So yeah, there'll be one more, and that one is one that you all know, but I think it will still be fun to read together and sort of share in that way. So thank you for joining me along in that journey. And that's all we've got for you today. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing again with your time with us. I know there's so many Flossmas videos and so much to catch up on, and it's already a busy season of the year. So I do thank you for the time you're spending with me and Winston. So I think that's all I've got. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.